Everybody give it up for Brock Trotter, the host with the most kids. Brock talked about his vasectomy. I didn't have anything that drastic done, but a week ago Friday I had the sinus balloonoplasty, where they go into your sinus cavities with a balloon, and that was a real adventure. Everything started pretty much last summer. I'd get sinus infections and I have to go to Express Med. And I'd go, and then like 2 months later I had to go, then like a month and a half, then a month later, and eventually they're like, we're going to send you to the ear, nose, and throat doctor because something's wrong with you. So I get over to the ear, nose, and throat doctor, and it's kind of a strange place. It looks kind of like a Scientology center with a coffee place in the center of it. It's a little weird. So they call me back there, and I go in the room with this guy, and he's asking questions and whatnot, and he said, so what brings you here today? And I gave him the info about going to Express Med, yada, yada, yada. And he said, oh, well, it sounds like you have people that care about you in your life and want to see you well. And I was like, this sounds a little bit cultish. I don't know if these guys all got minors in psychology or something, but it's just weird vibes. But, so they did a scan of my face, and another nurse comes in, and she was a real positive Patty. And she informed me that I needed surgery, and that it wasn't a big deal, and that they did it all the time there, and that people bounced right back from it, no big deal, everything would be fine. I'm like, okay. So I go back a couple weeks later for the pre-op, and the nurse that time, another real positive Patty. Oh yeah, we do this surgery all the time. We put you to sleep for it, but it's not a big deal. It's not like heart surgery or anything. It's not a big deal. And I'm like, okay. And apparently the doctor had forgotten about one of his golf schedulings or something, so they had to reschedule my appointment. And they put it out so far I had to go back for another pre-op appointment. The nurse that time, she was a little bit older than those other two nurses. She'd seen some things, and she knew some shit. And so I'm in there, I'm like, yeah, they're gonna do the balloon thing, and they said I'm gonna bounce right back. And she looked at me very seriously and said, it's a surgical procedure. We're going to put you to sleep. It's nothing major, but there's things you won't be able to lift 20 pounds for a week. It's not gonna be nothing. And then I got pretty scared. The realistic Rhonda really drove the reality of it home for me. And I thought I was really scared then, but I was only really scared the morning of the surgery, when it felt like there was a hornet's nest inside of me. And I didn't have a full-blown panic attack. I didn't flail about or anything, but I could not stop the anxiety from coming out of my eyes through tears. So I get in there, and the nurse is trying to calm me down. What seems to be the issue? Is it being put to sleep? And I said, no, it's not. Waking back up is the issue that I'm really afraid of. And back to the psychology minor stuff, she goes, well, it was very brave of you to be vulnerable and let me know that you were afraid. And fear is really just lack of knowledge. So we're going to take really good care of you, and you're going to wake back up. So does that knowledge make you feel better? And outside, out of my mouth went, yeah. And inside I was like, you guys are fucking crazy. It took them 3 times to get an IV in me, both in my elbows and then finally in my hand. And I let them know very clearly that was not doing anything to calm my anxiety. The anesthesiologist came in and talked to me. I'm like, okay, now they're going to put me to sleep. And he talked to me for a second, and he goes back out, and I'm like, oh, okay. Like, I'm ready to do this now. And the nurse, she sprays some stuff in my nose, and then she pulls out these things like this long with some kind of strip in it, And she's like, okay, I'm going to put these in your nose. And I'm like, I'm not asleep yet. And she's like, no, it's going to be fine. And so she put one of them in my nose. You know that thing that babies do, it kind of scares you if you see it in person, where they just, and they don't breathe for a second? Apparently that is what I did when that woman stuck that thing in my nose, because about 20 seconds after she did it, I felt a real firm hand on my shoulder, and she goes, Amanda, breathe. So then the anesthesiologist comes back in, and they're like, Amanda's really anxious about this procedure. And he said, well, I've got some don't care juice, and after I give you this, you're not going to care. There was no, okay, Amanda, count back from 10. Nothing else happened. I opened my eyes and it was over. So that don't care juice works real good. So they talked to me after it, and part of the aftercare that you have to do, you have to mix this capsule and some salt with some distilled water and flush both sides of your nose twice a day. So now pretty much I'm waterboarding myself in the morning and evening, and I would pretty much admit to anything when that is going on. I shot JFK, I was in the grassy knoll, I know where Jimmy Hoffa is, just all of it. And I won't know for sure for another few weeks and if it was worth it, if everything heals up correctly the way it's supposed to, but fingers crossed. And I'm going to stop rambling now so we can get this over with and I can go home and waterboard myself. Thanks for laughing at me. Have a great night.